It's the JT Cho Show!
10, looking fancier than ever, and not just because it's the 140th episode of the JT Show, just because I'm too lazy to get dressed change after work. Yeah. So am I gonna dress in uniform for the podcast?
We don't have uniforms yet, unless someone wants to, donate, and then we'll wear whatever you want.
I mean, I'd be down to do like themes, like
we should do a Goodwill day where we pick each other's outfit out.
Yeah, or like sometimes we should
have like a $30 budget.
Do movie themes, but not say what movie.
Oh, okay. We just pick a random one.
Yeah, or we'll do an actor. And
one actor, and then we both be a character his from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
And then we can talk about this every once in a while. Maybe on all
like a Rocky theme.
Maybe on all the fibers. Like all the so 145 will be a theme show.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And then we'll just that's the topic to talk about.
I like that.
Why you pick whatever. But and then the people in the comments who never leave comments, you piece of shit. The people in the comments, they can let us know what movie they want us to see.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Whose birthday is today?
Who do you got?
I got Roger Federer.
Roger Federer.
Yeah.
Great tennis player.
Yeah, he was world #1 in singles for like 310 consecutive weeks. That's fucking wild. That's, Tiger Woods numbers.
Yeah, I have Corpse's husband, who's 26. Okay. He's a YouTuber. I only know him because of Aaron, my roommate. And he's
the guy that used to play Among Us with all those guys,
yes.
Right? Super deep voice.
Super deep voice.
Didn't do a face reveal for like ever.
I'm pretty sure he still hasn't done one. And he says he's nervous.
I thought he did one last year.
He might have. But that might have been the chubby cheek guy. With the square face, who everyone was like, "You're ugly," because they're rude, and then he put it. And then now he's playing video games with his mask back on. But during the time of the no face reveal, Corpse's husband was like, "I get nervous and anxious about going out in public because people are starting to recognize my voice."
Okay, so he's never done a face reveal, but people know what he looks like because people know who he is, and it's leaked on the internet.
Yeah.
So
I've never looked it up. I'm good.
It looks goofy.
I'll wait. Could be fake, dude. We've done no research into any of these photos.
I don't think it's fake. That's literally all the photos.
Like, just because I sound like a Democrat.
Well, because he's been to like social media events, and like people have seen him there, and he doesn't walk around and be like, "I'm Corpse," but like they're like, "Oh, he's hanging out with this group. It's gotta be." Yeah. Probably fucking him. Well, happy birthday, weird looking Corpse and Roger Federer.
Allegedly. Unconfirmed. I have to grab my list. I made a list.
Okay.
Start off with whatever you want to talk about.
Did you hear about the what the fuck was his name? Guy's name's Kevin Brown.
Today's August 8th, by the way. I've been critically thinking about, should we announce the date every time? I know we announce birthdays, but everybody knows that podcasts take a couple days to get uploaded to the real internet. But.
So this dude, I don't know if you heard about it, Kevin Brown. Orioles announcer.
Who got suspended? Okay, I did see, I listened to the audio of what he said. Did he get, can I take, I don't know how. Did he get suspended because he absolutely trashed his team because they're dog shit?
So he didn't even trash the team.
He was
reading stats on the thing, and I looked at like 4 different clips of it, and he's suspended indefinitely without pay.
Yeah,
which is fucking wild.
Another organization will pick him up.
Maybe. I don't know. They were playing against the Rays, and he was just talking about how in the last 15 years they've won one game,
series,
not even one series. It was one game. Out of the last 15 series, it was one game. They've only beat him one time.
I thought it was...
And the last time they beat them in a series, his co-host, his co-anchor, was the one that was the starting pitcher.
Hilarious.
And that was back in, 2010 or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know that.
I thought it was that they hadn't won a series at home at the Orioles Park against the Rays.
Not at Orioles Park, at the Rays Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so they hadn't in the last 15 series.
I think he read off multiple stats then.
Yeah, no, there was a bunch.
Okay.
There was a bunch of them. But in their last 15 series, away at the fucking Rays Stadium, they'd only won one game.
Okay.
And the last time they beat them in a series at that stadium was when his boy
was pitching.
And they suspended him for just saying facts.
Stats, yeah.
Like just normal
Can't criticize
stats.
it.
And it wasn't even stats that he made up. It was the stats that were on the fucking screen. He just went down the list and just read them off.
Yeah, but he could have brought those stats to light.
I mean, even if he did, it's what else are you going to talk about?
About how theoretically good the future looks.
Well, he did. He talked about how good the future looks. He's like, let's hope we get a win today.
Well, right. But I saw no disrespect in what he was saying.
No, neither did I. I didn't even think he did anything wrong. It'd be like if back in like 2010 or 2005 they brought up how like the fucking if the Boston, if they were in the World Series and someone brought up, oh, we haven't won since Bambino.
Yeah.
You fired.
Well,
That'd
also,
be crazy.
like earlier, I don't know if it was this year or a couple years ago when the athletics announcer got fired for saying the museum they went to.
Oh, yeah, that's
clear cut, dry.
That's
you're bad.
No questions asked. You're the fuck out of here.
I listened to this audio with like, oh, what's he gonna say? Like, what's the slip up here? I have a slur, so I get it, but you're on live TV, and that's why I'm not.
That wasn't anything. So
and so when I got over with, I was like, I didn't read the comments because I think I saw it pretty late at night. But in my head I go, did he get suspended just for reading off the honest, truthful facts of how garbage your organization has said? But he didn't say any disrespectful words.
He didn't even talk about how garbage. So the Orioles were in
just talked about
the Orioles were in the top 3.
Yeah, but he just read off stats.
He read off
said
stats
no disrespectful.
that were specifically against the
He
Rays.
wasn't like because of the poor owners and the management. None of that. Just
he
all
just
stats.
said we haven't won a series in the last 15 series, and last time we won it, this guy was doing it. And this is our batting average when we've been doing that, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
He says, hopefully we turn that around today. Got an email that night, said, you're fucking suspended.
I found a sports thing I found interesting that happened this week. Frankie Muniz, as we all know him from...
the F1 driver?
No. Well, we know him from Malcolm in the Middle, of course. You know him from Agent Cody Banks.
Liar.
That Disney original movie where his legs didn't work and he was the downhill racer.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, we gotta look it up.
Remember Liar.
Frankie Muniz. I already spelled his name once today. Disney movie. So basically, the movie Miracle in Lane 2. So what that movie's about is there's a kid that had one of those the drag racing games where they like test their.
Yeah.
So he was really good at that. He always wanted to do
like your reaction time, right?
Yeah, so he wanted to do downhill racing, but his legs didn't work, and they were pedal brakes. So his dad built him this hand brake system for.
So he's.
Yeah, and then the other kid's dad's like, "Hey, that crippled boy using a legal car!" And so then the judges were like, "We gotta have a hearing on this." So they had like this little fucking makeshift court case with the fucking league, and they're like, "Let that cripple boy race!" And Miracle in Lane 2, dude. I know cripple might sound a little harsh, but
all right. And let me guess, at the end of the movie, he won the race.
Can't remember.
It's a Disney movie. He probably fucking won the race.
But he won his actual first race. He finished in the top 5 for the first time in his career in the ARCA scene race at MIS Speedway. Nice. So here in Michigan, Frankie Muniz finally qualified himself in a top 5 position in the thing that he's doing that he loves, Upper Decky. And he's 37 years old. So if Frankie Muniz can turn his career around, and not even around, just I'm tired of acting.
What he wants to do.
I wanted to race. Then there's still time for me to not give up on my dream yet.
It's like the Spouse brothers, Sprouse. Those guys, when they were done with Sweet Life on Deck, they both together wrote a follow-on where they moved back into the hotel in Boston, and they were only on it for one season, and then they go off to college. But before they do that, they train up the new set of boy twins that are going to be living in that place.
Smart.
And they were going to do it, and Disney fucking shot it down. They're like, absolutely fucking not. And so they were like, all right, we'll just go to college. And one of them went to college for video game design, and the other one went to college for something fucking else. Don't remember what it was.
Dude, speaking of video game design, I saw the backstory of how Minecraft was created.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the dude who lived in the country, they had no video games or video game consoles or any shit like that. So just off of watching games, he learned how to program to make his own games. So
Okay.
he would just make like the most popular, like Sonic at the time, and he would just like CGI a Sonic and type the code for it, and basically looking at the box make the game itself, which is crazy. And so then he eventually made his own game of Minecraft, and then it is what it is today. So just because a motherfucker out there wanted to play video games so motherfucking bad, he learned to make them, and then he made one of the best fucking games ever, dude.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's wildly impressive.
Yeah, I thought it was just made by some nerd in California.
I got a would you rather that I think is pretty cool.
Ooh.
So would you rather $1 million cash guaranteed tax free right now in a briefcase in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
or would you rather a chance at $100 million, but you have to play 72 holes against prime Tiger Woods, so like 06 Tiger Woods, and you have to beat him at 2 consecutive holes?
Okay. Now, there's no way I would ever take the million, and here's why. I get to go off with Tiger Woods in his prime.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I don't think that's worth $1 million.
I mean,
So before you say anything, in my mind, I'm taking $1 million. So I'm just basing that off of our last weekend. We barely beat those kids at like 2 holes,
yeah.
and that was together.
Oh, I think we beat them at more holes, but we took.
Well, we tied them in a lot of holes.
Yes.
But we only beat them. We had 2 birdies.
We beat them on hole 1, 15.
Did they? Okay, so we beat them at 3 holes.
That fucking.
Yeah, no, that was a wild. We didn't talk about that enough too. That was a crazy fucking off the green putt. Wild.
Well, I saw your ball roll, and I was like, well, if I hit it on the left side of the hill, it's going to go right, and it's not going to go as far right as his ball
I
did.
tried to land it over there. I'm just not good.
Well, that's why I got the T wedge
Yeah.
out, the Texas
Yeah.
wedge.
Yeah.
So, fucking that happened, and these kids were like, oh, fuck. And
Yeah,
then,
they were definitely shaking. Yeah.
And then once my hands were wet, that's when I had those 2 bad hybrid shots in a row.
I did start playing better once it dried up too. I
Yeah.
started playing better. Both of us did.
I feel like
anyways,
I feel like if there's one more of those in September, but not the 29th, we should sign.
Yeah. I think the next one is the 24th.
I'll register us this time.
The next one's the 24th, I think, and I don't remember where it's at. Also, kind of an offline thing, but not really. So the refund for it, the $70 we're supposed to get back. So he already refunded me once, so he can't refund me again. So we either can get credit towards the next one,
let's do that.
or he can Venmo me. And I wanted to talk to you about it first to see if you wanted to do it.
Well, if you want,
either way, it's going to be the same price when we go do it. But if we want to give him the credit for the next one, we can do that.
I want to do one more when it's dry.
Okay.
I want one more shot because I feel like
So I'll
we
tell him to hold
cannot
on to it.
take last place.
I'll tell him to hold on.
And then we'll fucking dock you it.
Yeah.
Not last place.
I'll tell him to hold on with that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
And if he needed
so I'm
35
basing
bucks,
my
I'd fine.
$1 million decision
Yeah.
on the fact that we only beat those guys at 2-3 holes.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I would have to get at 2 consecutive holes to beat Tiger Woods. So he would have to royally fuck up, like a Tiger Woods fuck up, which is like a bogey at most.
Yeah.
He would have to get a bogey at most, 2 holes in a row, and I would have to play my best golf I play 2 holes in a row.
I'll tell you.
And they would have to line up magically at some point in those 72 holes.
I'll
I
tell you.
don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
I'll tell you the only way I would go up one hole.
You got a hair right on your fucking lip. There you go.
So you just get that either on a par 3 or your second shot on a par 4. You just get one of those one lucky shots of the day, where you can make your fucking birdie putt. So you make like an 8-inch birdie.
Yeah, and who says he doesn't drain a fucking 15-foot?
But then Tiger just pars it, right?
Yeah.
Then
the next hole you're nervous as shit because there's $100 million on the
But
line.
that's why I'm never gonna win that second hole.
Yeah.
But
I don't even think I win one, dude. I don't even think I win one. I'm telling you right now, because
I bet you.
for one, Tiger would have to tee off first every time.
I'll tell you, if me and Tiger played 18 holes, no, not 18. I'd say 36 holes.
72 was the would you rather?
I'll do 36 at his age now.
Oh, I mean, I'll take the $100 million if it's current Tiger.
Well, I'll say half the money current Tiger, 36 holes, you have to beat him in 1 hole. Then yes.
Yeah, if you cut it in half and it's 1 hole, I'm absolutely taking the fucking 100.
Yes.
But for Prime Tiger, like 06 Tiger, I don't even know if he got back-to-back
Now,
bogeys in 06.
I'll tell you an alternative to that and why you should take the million. If this same stipulation was for Michael Jordan, because as soon as Michael Jordan realizes,
that's different, though.
but as soon as Michael Jordan realizes that there's money on the line, and he knows he can prevent you from winning, he is gonna absolutely pile drive you in with whatever luck happens in the universe. Whenever Michael Jordan's like, this bitch is testing me, and then everything works for him, dude. Because I mean,
Yeah, but see, the difference between golf and basketball is
No, I'm talking golf.
Playing golf against him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm absolutely taking the 100 if I'm playing against fucking Jordan.
but you got to play Jordan on Jordan's course.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
For 72 holes, all I have to do is beat him 2 holes in a row.
Yeah.
I can do that against Jordan.
Okay.
I think Jordan's like a fucking 6 handicap or something like that, a 5 handicap.
Yeah.
Something like that. Probably a 2 handicap on his own course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking that for sure. But for the Tiger Woods in his prime thing, I'm taking the millie. I'm taking the millie.
Yeah. This is a quick one. Through the memories in your life, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we just took like a big group photo with Moreno. Some
Carr.
dude, yeah,
Carr, Moreno.
inside of the Fox, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first thing I said was, "Look at bitch ass Gunther not paying this guy $50."
That motherfucker. All right, what was his first name?
Well, let's just call him Gunther.
I would have said your fucking first name.
I don't know
son
it.
of a bitch.
I don't know it. But
I
anyway,
don't have the screenshots anymore, but I bet this motherfucker, Rams Patriots Super Bowl, he's a Rams fan, fucking Gunther. And he fucking was talking all this shit on Facebook back when I used to like comment on sports shit on Facebook. I don't comment on anything anymore. He was like, put some money on it if you're so fucking confident. And I was like, bet, let's put 100 on it. He's like, let's make it 50. I was like, okay, cool. And that other dude, the guy that hit a hole in one, what was his name?
I can't remember.
Fuck, we should definitely say his name.
Yes.
Connors?
No, that's O'Connor's.
Not O'Connor. I thought it was Connor.
I can't remember.
I don't know. Well, we deployed to the guy that got a hole in one. Fucking wildly impressive. Dope. He was the witness. He said, I'll be witness to this. And I took screenshots and then...
David?
Huh?
Connor McDavid?
No, I thought his last name was Connors. But I'm probably wrong. I like that. We needed those.
Yes.
Anyways, $50 bet. Patriots beat the shit out of the fucking... It wasn't really a shit beating. It was, 17-10 at the end or something? Or 14-10? Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, and everyone was upset because it was very defensive. But I won the bet, and I sent him the screenshot and my Venmo, and he was like, all right, I'll get you that shit tomorrow. Hit him up again the next day. I said, where's my money? Radio silence. And then I hit up a couple other people. I wished him some ill will, and I haven't forgotten. Fuck that guy. If you're watching this, which you probably fucking aren't, fuck you, Gunther. Unless you give me my $50, then we're cool again.
Sorry, I had to take care of an emergency.
That's alright.
My dog had an accident.
No big deal. It happens.
Yeah, so I had to clean up that mess and wash my hands.
Gotcha. Have you seen the clip? Do you know how many different celebrities were in the Avatar? Voice actors?
Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Both of them. Like the big time celebrities.
And Korra.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
Korra and
There's a ton.
There's a billion of them. I had no idea.
Okay, so you know Mark Hamill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah, so I like his quote. When he read the screenwrite for Avatar: The Last Airbender, he goes, "This show's never gonna last because it wasn't just a stupid, goofy cartoon show. It was a show that talked up to kids, you know, that like had those life lessons, had those deep thinking moments." So he just thought that, wow, this is too smart of a show to make it, you know, far because stations don't want that. They just want mindless garbage, you know.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that play a lot of voices in that show.
There was a guy that posted a fucking video about it, and I fucking followed him, and I saved the video, but my phone's being fucked up, so it won't play the fucking video. I'm gonna try and find it real quick, and if I don't find it soon... We'll just be lost forever. Yeah, lost forever. Anyways, but one of the people was old girl from Delaware that everybody loves, Aubrey Plaza. She played Zuko's girlfriend.
Wow,
The one that was like super dark and was
Ron Perlman, the guy from Hellboy. He plays
Oh yeah.
Sozin,
Yeah.
the Fire Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, George Takei plays a ship ward.
Yep.
Mae Whitman plays Katara. Oh, Hector Alonso, which if you look at him, I don't know if you've ever seen Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
He's the boss in that show.
There was another dude, Remy, whatever the fuck his name is.
Sierra Williams.
Yeah, that
Serena.
was another one. Serena Williams. Yeah, she played the fucking chick.
Rachel Dratch played Ember, played the fake Aang. Aubrey Plaza.
Yep, Aubrey Plaza was in there.
Rami Malek.
Yep, that's Remy.
Kaya was played by Lisa Eldson. J.K. Simmons is Tenzin, but we knew that.
Yeah, we knew that. Yeah.
Great
casting for him.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, Stephen Yeun, the guy from... he was...
And he is now playing Fire Lord Ozai in the new one.
No, that's a different character. That's a different guy.
Is it?
Yeah, the guy from Hawaii. He plays in Hawaii Five-0 in a medical show.
The dude... All right, so there's
This is the dude from The Walking Dead. The dude that you're talking about.
Oh, not that guy. He voices another guy on...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he voices, but he voices someone on there. And
Avatar
he's also
Juan.
doing...
He'll probably play a part in the show that's coming up. Oh, you're talking about Daniel Day Kim right here.
That's the guy, yeah.
He's
playing-
Firelord.
Yeah.
That's the dude on Bad Friends podcast. Shout out Bad Friends. If you guys like Bad Friends, let them know we talk about them. So Natalie Portman on August 8th was reported she's single because her husband cheated on her with like a 25-year-old. These are the headlines that I'm reading.
Who?
Natalie Portman single.
Oh, yes.
So today, I shot my shot.
You did shoot your shot.
You know.
What'd you tell her?
I told her a combination. So as of this moment, the invite is sent. She'll probably never read this in her entire life, but Natalie Portman's official Instagram. I said, I know this seems like I'm sliding into your DMs, but I like to call it aggressive negotiations, which is a... Negotiations, okay. Which is a Clone Wars 2 reference. Just like Han, I'm here to shoot my shot. I cut one and you say, unlike Han, I don't shoot first.
Yeah.
If you ever want to...
sex joke.
And then so I ended it with, if you ever want to go on a date, just let me know and I'll drop everything. I would literally, if Natalie Portman hit me up and said, dinner tonight in LA at 7, I would immediately leave work.
What if she flew in? Where would you take her?
Oh, Rocky Top.
Rocky Top,
I'd take her
baby.
to a nice local place where
Yeah.
she can get good barbecue.
What are the odds she gets recognized out here? I think they're pretty low.
I think the only reason she gets recognized is they would go, how the fuck is that dude pulling that chick? And then someone's going to go, that's Natalie fucking Portman. And
I think even so, like, I would have to be a diehard fan because I even think with me,
you'd have to take her to like B-dubs where like nerds
because if
go
I
sometimes.
saw her, if you just saw her, like, and you walked past her like at fucking Lowe's or something,
I know it.
I don't think I would.
Because
I don't stare at everybody I walk past. Like,
So-
because I walked past Kevin Hart when I went to go see him. I walked past him and his like group of fucking Goonies that he was with.
Right.
Me and Travi did, and Travi was like, "Dude, that was Kevin Hart." And I looked back, and he was the only person at the top of the head I couldn't see.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" He was just in between a bunch of dudes walking down the fucking hallway by the bathroom.
So you know that thing where like you name a fucking theme song from the 90s and I watched so much TV and consumed it so much as a child that I developed these weird tendencies with celebrities. So I'm very good at naming celebrities and what shows they're in like everybody else.
Yeah.
But when I hear someone's voice, I instantly can go, oh, he was
You
that dude.
just walked past her randomly.
Well,
And
yeah,
she
well,
was
that's
like,
what I'm
she was
saying.
10 feet away
well,
from you. You
well,
walked past, you glanced at her.
even with main characters in shows, because you had to watch commercials
Yeah.
and they were a part of everyday life. I could go, oh, he was in this commercial and that commercial. I could let you know what commercials that guy was
I don't
in.
think I'd recognize her. If I was sitting at the same dinner table with her and she was like across over that way, I would be like, dude, that's fucking Padme.
I would literally say that chick looks exactly like Natalie Portman. I would
Yeah.
pull up my phone and be like, that's fucking Natalie Portman.
I don't think I would notice her just walking by her. I don't think I would.
I think I would.
That's just me. Breaking fucking news in the sports world. Did you see Dave Portnoy purchased 100% of the shares of fucking Barstool, or 100% of the ownership?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, do you know some of the reasoning behind like the?
I watched the video, but you go ahead.
Well, Dave said he was happy for the first time that in 10 years he owns Barstool Sports 100%.
There's nothing bad to say about Penn
State.
Gaming.
Yeah, because there's
Penn State.
Penn Gaming. Yeah. So the reason why Penn dropped Barstool is because they just signed a deal with ESPN. So
Conflict of interest.
ESPN probably said, "Hey."
I think it's a conflict of interest because they kind of do the same thing.
Well,
Low key. It's just different audiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they went with ESPN. And so, but Dave, nothing bad said. KFC's excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the content.
I think their shares are about to skyrocket.
Barstool,
Love you.
JT Show.
Love you.
We'll rename it. We'll sign
Barstool
a
Show.
3-year minimum contract.
Barstool Show.
One fucking podcast a week.
At a minimum.
Base here in Michigan, and only costs you $10,000 for a studio up front. But you can take that out of my paycheck.
Yeah. Take it out of mine too. We'll split it.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta text something for a question that I have.
Okay. I have a video I gotta find anyway.
So with celebrities, my dad is very good at any Michigan football player or basketball player to ever play for the University of Michigan. My dad can spot him like that, and so it goes along with like when we go to celebrity golf outings, or if we're like at events for Michigan, my dad can just pick players out of a crowd and just remember exactly who any Michigan player was. So I just texted my brother. I can't remember who it was, but we're just walking down the street in San Antonio. We're at the Final Four because my brother's got a message. Oh yeah, holy shit! So we're fucking walking down the street in San Antonio, not even close to where we're supposed to be at. Just hey, we parked, and my brother and my dad are there, and my brother goes, "Hey, are you Bill Walton?" And fucking, he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, my brother's like, "Bill Walton." I was like, I can't believe I barely remember who fucking Bill Walton is. Period.
OG gangster.
But my dad, so he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you. You guys have a good day." But I would have never recognized Bill Walton.
No,
But so what my brother has what my dad has with Michigan football, any Michigan athlete, and what my brother has with pretty much anything in sports, because my brother. Probably, I don't know how much today, but my brother can look at a guy and tell you exactly what college he went to.
Okay.
And so, because, he watches both.
Yeah.
So he's very good at sports knowledge to the fact that he can let you know a lot about the motherfucker that you never know about. I had the same, but I didn't watch as much sports as he did. I would be like, oh, I gotta watch cartoons and anime.
I'm pretty good with NFL football from 2005 to 2000.
Well,
14.
it's whatever you, yeah, because also.
I remember all those stupid little stats, and then even older shit, because I used to watch all those NFL Films things. I had those on repeat in my room. That's what I used to fall asleep to at my mom's house, because she had NFL Network, and my dad didn't. So I just watch NFL Network all the time, and so I learned all those stupid little fun facts, because the average NFL fan doesn't know which quarterback lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
Right.
The average fan doesn't. And I watched, all those fucking things, and then the Bo Jackson stats. I can tell you Devin Hester stats, Josh Cribbs stats, fucking Jamal Charles stats, all those guys that are kind of forgotten with time.
Yeah. Do you know, would you ever know who this guy is?
Hockey player, no.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's Joey Koser. And he's nowhere near a huge scored, but he was just a key player in the 90s for the Red Wings.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I looked at him, and then I looked at him for too long because he's looking at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, "Hey man, are you Joey Koser? And he goes, yeah. And I go, hey, man. And I'm probably like 19 at the time. I was like, you were one of my favorite childhood heroes when you played for the Red Wings. And he goes, really? And I was like, dude, you were the smallest guy on the ice, but like you scored those goals in the Stanley Cup finals and fucking... And I shook his hand, and he's always known as a smaller guy in the league.
Yeah.
And his hand was like, and I was like, how and then that just broke my fucking like brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's always a little guy.
Yeah.
But his hand was so giant. I was a full grown man hand, and it was like, hello, little boy, and I was like, what? And then that's when you finally like understand.
So I went to a Raiders-Cardinals game, and I went down because we showed up really early. We tailgated really early and got into the game because it was like an afternoon game. But we got there at like 8 a.m.
Oh, $2 billion was that? Was the partnership between ESPN and
Wow.
They signed a $2 billion deal. Sorry, continue.
Impressive. Anyways, I got to go down because I saw Larry Fitzgerald when he was still in the league. He was down there like signing autographs for people pregame. And I went down there, and I was like, hey, man, I don't have anything for you to sign, but I just want you to know you're one of the best wide receivers to ever fucking play the game.
Yeah.
And he goes, thanks, man, I appreciate it. And he put out his hand for me to shake it, and it was the same fucking thing. That dude's hands, like, his fingers wrapped around to, like, right there. Like, it was crazy. Like, he was shaking my hand like I shake this fucking Zen. Like, it was wild. And I was like, God damn, his hands are fucking big. And that's one thing I noticed. Any person I've ever met that has played pro sports, their hands are massive. And not just, like, the length of them, but the girth of them. Like, that dude, name drop, Todd Berger, used to play for the Bears and the Jets way back in the day, back in the fucking 70s, 80s. He used to frequent my bar because he's a fisherman, and he would come in all the time and get fucking Budweiser straight draft.
Right.
That was his fucking drink. And cool-ass fucking dude. He's living in New Jersey now. I think he was born and raised there. But I shook his hand once, and it was the same fucking thing. He had these giant, like, bratwurst fucking fingers. His palms were fucking huge. And he played on the D-line.
Yeah.
And he just huge fucking hands. Every professional athlete I've ever met has these giant
Huge
fucking
hands. Yeah.
Just huge.
Yeah.
And then it makes me think, like, when I was like 19, I was like, oh, I could probably go be like a practice squad player. I got little tiny baby hands compared to these guys.
Like compared to my family and everything, they're always like, you have big hands.
Yeah, I've always had, in my family, I always had big hands. Me and Travi, and my dad has these giant sausage fingers. They're like shorter than mine, but they're like just big fingers.
Yeah.
And these are little baby hands compared to them. I got Trump hands.
Yeah. Embarrassingly, when I was really little, I had to be like 3 or 4. We went to a celebrity pro-am here in Jackson. So Bo Schembechler, I believe, was golfing, or it might have been a previous time. When did Bo Schembechler?
It sounds like you're wildly mispronouncing Bryson DeChambeau.
No. So that was a different time. So my dad went to a pro-am one time, and he got to meet Bo Schembechler and got his autograph, which is the Michigan head coach that coached the national championship team from way back in the day.
Okay.
I don't even know if they won, but that just might be an exaggeration. I'm a bad Michigan fan sometimes when I have a couple beers. But so in this celebrity pro-am in Jackson, there's a country singer from the 90s. His name is Vince Gill. And that's all my mom was talking about. And as a little like fucking 3 or 4 year old kid, I walk up to Vince Gill. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for somebody. And he's like, oh, who you looking for, little kid? And I was like, Vince Gill. And he's like, I'll let you know when I see him. And everybody fucking laughed.
Yeah.
And I'm just like this little fucking 4-year-old kid who walked up to a celebrity and was like, hey, have you fucking seen this guy? And he was like, I'll let you know if I see him. So the only thing I heard all day is that my mom wanted to meet fucking Vince Gill to get his autograph. And I fucking walked right up to the guy at like 4 years old, and I was like, have you seen this motherfucker? And he was just like, nope. But yeah, dude.
I have a funny video to show
Okay.
you. So there's this dude on TikTok, and he lives near Lyndon B. Johnson's grave.
Yeah.
And it's like a public thing. You can just go see it whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And he goes and he reenacts him like music videos.
Yeah.
He just stands in front of his grave and he sings.
Okay.
And he did, so there's I saw the Barbie movie yesterday, and it was okay.
Yeah.
It's good. It's alright. Definitely go see it.
Zoe
See
movie's
it.
okay.
Yeah, Zoe movie's alright too. But there's a
I
song
watched it.
that Ryan Gosling sings
Okay.
in the Barbie movie called I'm Just Ken.
Mm-hmm.
because it's like it's all about like women empowerment or whatever, and how like the Barbie thought that she had empowered women enough to where they'd be really happy in the real world, but they really weren't. But it's opposite in Barbie Land. All the Supreme Court are all Barbies, and the president's Barbie, and blah blah blah, and Ken's just there. And they asked her at some part in the movie, they're like, "So this is Barbie's dream house. Where do the Kens live?" But she's like, "You know what? I have no idea. Never asked that question." And so Ken had a song about how he's just Ken, and if you're anywhere else other than Barbie Land, he'd be a 10, and blah 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 blah. And that's like the rhyme. So he performed "I'm Just Ken" at Lyndon B. Johnson's grave. It's just funny.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blind fragility? I'm just Ken.
And so this guy's
He
whole
just sings in
TikTok
front of
page.
famous people's graves.
No, just Lyndon B. Johnson's.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and he's got a bunch of them.
How many-
Let me see if I could pull up.
How many followers does he have?
62,000.
What's his name?
The Boy Rabbit 01.
Shout out to the Boy Rabbit 01, dude.
So he's just got.
Girl, you make my cold heart warm with a touch. One kiss, then we fucking. I just can't get enough. Girl, you make my. Oh Christ, I'm about to sin again. Said I love you to that man, but I'm not feeling him. Oh Christ.
I fucking love it, dude. I love it. It's going viral. The clip I saw was on Barstool, and he had been working on it for a fucking minute. He's got just all these stupid fucking clips.
I'm just.
Let me see if I get one more good one in here.
Dude, I'm laughing my ass off, dude.
Dude, it's just fucking funny.
Bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. Bloods, I've been waiting to shoot this boy for so long. I've been.
It's so good, dude.
That's really funny.
It gives me so much serotonin to just see that. It was the President of the United States.
Has he ever explained why?
No.
That makes it even better.
He's just doing it. He just lives near it.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things he lives near. I'm sure they did like a fucking school field trip to it at some point, and he just knew about it. And he's like, you know, it'd be really funny
if
I sang Cardi B in front of his grave, just to let him know what he's missing out on. You know, people, they go to graves, and they're like, hey, Mom, just letting you know, by the way, I did this, and this year, and the kids are doing great in T-ball, and blah, blah, blah. And he just goes to the president's grave
I hope
and sings.
I hope there's impersonators that do other famous dead guy. Like, I hope somewhere.
It's just so funny because he was the president of the United States.
Yeah.
LBJ. He was the president. And he's singing Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and I'm just Ken.
I hope his kids out there. Lyndon B. Johnson's kids are out there going.
Shout out to that fucking guy because that shit is so.
I hope
funny.
Lyndon B. Johnson's relatives are like.
I hope that wherever you're buried, you have some type of like omnipotence where you just overlook and see what's happening around your little area that you're in. And he just sees this kid and he goes, God damn it.
I just hope that his kids somewhere are secretly trying to stop him, and it goes like major press, and he's just like, I'm doing nothing wrong.
The ancestors are like, hey man.
His offspring.
His offspring is fucking 3 years or 3 generations down the line, and just like, dude, quit fucking with my great grandpa's grave.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not fucking with him, I'm just letting him know what he's missing out on.
He's gonna go to the Supreme Court.
I hope so.
As long as he doesn't say that there's a fire in the graveyard, it's all legal speech.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I saw that a couple nights ago, and I was like, man, this is fantastic.
Something that I saw that was fantastic. Steph Curry has recently gotten into the rap game. We're not here to review that, but he did sing a song with Paramore.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
And it was the song Misery Business.
Yeah.
And it was super dope that Steph likes the same music that I like.
Yes.
Now, doing a deep dive into this article, I found out that Misery Business was labeled as misogynistic, and they stopped performing the song Misery Business live for a very long time. So tweets from like 2018 were like, oh, it's banned for shouting out the hoe-ass shaming lyrics. People were like, well, feminism won, but at what cost? So finally, the band a few years ago or recently was like, hey, we don't give a fuck. Everybody loves that fucking song. So now any celebrity or they try to get fans to come on stage to sing the song with them.
I don't understand how it could be seen as misogynistic.
I have to listen to the lyrics.
She's more or less, she's not talking shit about dudes. She's talking shit about the dude's girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you.
Slut shaming. So basically she was
not even slut shaming. She was just talking shit because the girl had him because she dressed scantily. And will give him what high school boys want. Because that's what it was about. It's about a fucking dude in high school that she really liked. And some other girl had him. And she's like, I'm just going to fucking steal him from her.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not misogynistic. That's crazy.
So it got labeled as misogynistic.
Crazy.
Feminists were like, this song is terrible for our fucking culture. And they stopped performing that fucking song live for a very long time. Yeah. And now that Steph Curry, then I was like, oh shit, let's look at more of this shit. And I couldn't believe, and this was reported by Rolling Stones, that they stopped doing it. But then I started getting to the old tweets. And I was like, damn, dude, like, I can't believe that Paramore would stop singing one of their... And then I just think about rap lyrics. And I'm like, nobody has ever been like, you shouldn't sing that song, NWA. No one's ever said anything close.
Well, they said that. But
well, yeah, but not...
They didn't stop.
Not because years later someone was offended because of the lyrics.
No, it was instantly. They were instantly offended by the lyrics.
Yes.
It wasn't years later.
Yes, true.
So that was your music thing, right?
Yes.
All right. So my music thing, I just found this out. I don't know if you know about it. So Post Malone did a podcast with the chick that used to do Call Her Daddy.
Okay.
Fucking Alex Cooper, or whatever the fuck her name is. Mm-hmm. So I just learned, one, that Post Malone is engaged to be wed.
Wow. And
two, at the time of them recording that, he had a 15-month-old child. No idea.
Now I may have known, I may have known that he had someone significant not to be engaged, because I did see a clip of him going, I bought the Magic Gathering card, Lord of the Rings, only one card. And she goes, okay. And he goes, I bought it. She goes, how much was it? And he goes, $2 million. And it was 2.6.
Yeah.
But I mean, fuck it, dude.
I mean, if you're Post 2.6, $2 million, that's nothing. Drop it.
Well, here's the thing, though. If you ever are hard up on money, that's gonna sell for $2.6 million.
At the minimum.
The minimum.
You could probably put that out at auction. It'll probably go for $5.
Yeah, but if you just wanted to get all the money yourself,
I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you that Post Malone is not the most wealthy Magic the Gathering nerd.
No,
Guarantee it.
No, yeah. There's like the kid in basic training that I went through. He was the West Virginia Magic the Gathering champion in 2012. We looked it up.
He enlisted in the military.
Yes.
Didn't get him very far.
Well, he's out.
Well, yeah, but you think if someone was like really good at one thing, they wouldn't have to enlist in the military. You know?
Well, their father might have been in a government position, and anyways, without getting too deep into this, but basically the deck that he won with, like, so he entered the tournament, built this fantastic deck, and swept it. People will come up to you and be like, "I'll buy your deck." And so he sold his deck for.
They'll buy deck replicas too.
Yeah,
like,
but
just people build the deck that guy had, and they'll be like, "Hey, this is his deck, not his actual deck."
Well, yeah, it's not so much like it's the winner's deck. It's I just want to buy your cards in your deck right now from you.
Yeah.
And so he already knew he was listening in the military, so he sold that. He's like, yeah, so I had like this much money, and I had to explain like why I got this increase in money, and I had to be like, I sold all these cards, and they're like, what? And what's crazy is that one dude who used to be an NFL star is now like a Pokemon card trader now, and he like, what's his name? He was an ex-NFL player, and he started getting into Pokemon cards. And he basically makes more money selling Pokemon cards than he did in his career. Former Giants player Blake Martinez, he played for the Packers as well, so fuck you, Giants. He was. Wow, this is a breaking article. Former Giants player Blake Martinez banned from online marketplace after an alleged Pokemon scam. Blake Martinez retired to the NFL last fall. Okay. Was that it? So I think it was Blake Martinez, but
So he was in cahoots with some people doing some shady shit with Pokemon cards.
So it was Blake Martinez, but now on fucking July 8th, I'm learning that there might be
Some bad blood, huh?
Some bad blood.
Speaking of military shit, I listened to the podcast with Joe Rogan and Zach Bryan, and I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it was fucking hilarious, and it might be worth a comedy bit. But so Zach Bryan, country singer, was in the Navy for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, eight and a half or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He enlisted at the age of 17 because his dad decided he was going to stay in the Navy until he was able to enlist his kid as a recruiter. So for the last 5 years of his dad's 25-year career as a chief master sergeant in the Navy, he was a recruiter at their home spot in Oklahoma.
So he's an E9 recruiter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So he went to his dad when he was 16 and was like, hey, what do I got to do? I want to be a diver. And his dad's like, all right, you just got to train like this, blah, 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 do all this stuff. So he trained for a year when he was 16 in high school. And then at 17, he graduated early and was like, hey, I'm ready to go. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, so your paperwork doesn't say anything. But when you get to basic, they're going to be like, hey, who in here wants to be a diver? You just raise your hand and say yes. And he was like, all right, cool. He gets to basic. And after a week of being in basic, his guy comes to him and goes, hey, here's your 2 job options. Slid him across the table. One of them was being an MP, Master at Arms, and the other one was being ammo. It's like, these are your 2 options. Pick one. And so he picked ammo, and then the first chance he got, he called his dad and was like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, I wanted to be a diver. What the fuck did you do to me? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Just shit happened. So
His dad fucked him as a recruiter.
Recruiters, doesn't matter if it's your fucking dad, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They have no idea. Maybe his dad, benefit of the doubt, maybe his dad thought that that's what would happen because that's what he was told would happen. And then his kid got there and it didn't happen.
Or maybe when he went through, that's how they did it.
Either way. Well, I mean, he was in the military, so he had to have known. He was a recruiter. He had to have known something.
Yeah.
Maybe it just changed for that one cycle of people.
Yeah.
Anyways, he never got the option to be a diver. So he went in to the military as a fucking ammo guy, was in the military for 3.5 years, re-enlisted, and then started writing fucking music because he wanted to write poems, but in his words, he said poems are gay.
Mm-hmm.
So he stopped writing poems and started writing country songs, and then he learned how to play the guitar. The motherfucker only knows how to play 3 chords.
Wow.
That's what he does. When he's up on stage and he's strumming along, 3 chords. That's it. That's all he knows.
Smart.
Yeah. But phenomenal singer. Music ended up going viral on on YouTube and Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the most Reddited name for like a 2-week span when he put his first thing on Reddit.
Wow.
And his boy hit him up like 3 days after it went up. And he was like, yo, dude, you're going fucking viral on this shit. You should put out more songs. And he's like, I was literally in the field like learning how to load missiles. And he's like, so that night I went out and we had a bonfire and I sung the song Heading South in front of my iPhone with like shitty lighting that was made by the fire and just nothing behind me because it was just darkness in the woods.
Right.
And that got 10 million views overnight.
It's crazy.
And he was still in the military releasing songs on YouTube, not making any money at it because he didn't know how to monetize his videos. And his commander came up to him and was like, hey man, pretty crazy what you're doing on the internet. And he's like, yeah, people really like my music. He goes, yeah, you can't be in the military anymore. So it's a conflict of interest. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because at any point you could be like, I don't need this shit, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And just leave.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so and I really wanted to fucking stay in, but they wouldn't let me. And so I got out at 8.5 years. And he's like, there's like a, when you get into the music industry, there's like a set list of things that everyone does. They play small, really small bars by themselves. They play little bigger bars. They play venues. And then eventually they get to play in stadiums.
Yeah.
And he's like, in my first year out, I put all my money into a tour. We got a tour bus, and we were playing stadiums immediately.
Holy shit.
And just went out, and he was headlining stadiums. Like, not huge, giant stadiums, not football fields.
Well, right.
It was, places, like venues that were made for music.
Yeah.
And he was headlining them. And he brought a couple of his homies with him to open for him, and he's been touring for 4.5 years now. And he's like, I never looked back. He's like, but he skipped, because of the internet, he skipped all those, like, playing little bars things. He had played in little bars when he was in the military. They'd go to, like, open mic nights in town, and he would sing acoustic songs.
Yeah.
And he's like, my buddies would clap for me, and they were always the loudest ones, and it was really cool. But
Oh, it's just ice, Earl.
oh yeah, it's just ice. It was beer.
It was beer.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, moral of the story is recruiters will always fuck you,
Yeah.
even if you're their kid.
Yeah.
Crazy.
My
My recruiter didn't fuck me. I want to get that out there. My recruiter didn't fuck me. I picked the job that I had pretty much almost immediately by going open general.
What was it? That's like Bo Burnham when he made all those old comics.
Oh,
so
yeah,
there's a trend of comics that were like, oh, well, you didn't go through, open mics and bullshit bars and blah blah blah, and he just said, have you ever read the YouTube comments?
Yeah.
So that's way fucking worse than a lot of the shit that you guys go through.
It really is, though.
What's up, Earl? Is there any subject you want to know about? We're just recording the JT Show, but we also do it live because we're just trying to get more viewers at the time. Season 18 of Apex is out today. So I'm really excited for season 18 of Apex because Revenant, it gets a complete new redo, and
Yeah,
I'm ready
reborn.
to see how broken they're about to make a character. Because when a character first comes in, their abilities seem pretty cool, but people learn to break them very fast.
Yeah.
And so
They cheese them.
yeah, so essentially, I am ready to cheese Revenant, which I will say, if I ever get another heirloom shard, I'm gonna buy the scythe.
I mean, yeah. The site's a good one. I think if I got another one, I'd get Loba's, just 'cause I've been playing her a lot. But
A
so,
lot.
dude, the Revenant thing is fucking hilarious, because, like, I was watching videos on it all day. Obviously, this is the only thing anyone's talking about.
Yeah.
And so his tactical is the super jump.
Yeah.
And so you can use that tactical after you use
Octanes.
Octane's jump pad.
Yeah.
So there's a
Triple
thing
jump.
that triple jump, but so they call it tap strafe.
Yes.
Computer players, mouse and keyboard players, they can tap strafe without any of that. With an Octane thing, they can do it twice, and that's where you jump, redirect yourself in air, and then redirect yourself again. So computer players with Revenant can tap strafe 3 fucking times.
Wow.
They can do it initially off the pad, and then Revenant, and then jump.
Yes.
So they can come at you like this, go boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Controller players can go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And it's not the third one. And it was really funny because I was watching this video of this guy, and he's a controller player, streamer dude, and all his buddies are PC guys. And he was like, that's bullshit. We can't even have one fucking thing.
Right.
But we get fucking aim assist, and that's just fucking fine. Also, the Prowler has a select fire now again.
Yeah.
And I've seen some videos on that. That's fucking nasty.
Revenant does have some sick ass skins. We will be playing some
I
Apex
think
tonight.
there's a new,
Revenant skin?
like I don't know if they let you keep the OG ones, but so I saw the intro to Revenant. You know how like they do the intros where they come up and they're like, oh, I'm Loba, and I'm walking like this.
Yeah.
So the new intro for Revenant, I don't know if you have to pay for it or whatever, but it was OG Revenant with the fucking red hood.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there and he was about to crush the skull, and then out of nowhere, a white Revenant with a white hood and a black face comes up behind him, shoots him in the fucking head, and he goes, it's my turn. And then just fucking walks up. So he like kills the old Revenant, and he's just fucking there.
That's dope.
Yeah. Crazy. Fucking cool.
And
I love it.
one thing I do like about Apex, as far as being a battle arena type of game, is they do all of their storytelling a lot. They do include in the game where you can watch the clips, blah, 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 but they do a good job of cataloging those on YouTube.
Putting out videos, yeah.
And there's a huge story behind Apex that a lot of people don't know about, where they just have like characters, they interact with different characters, and so that's why I really appreciate the game when they do the custom quips between characters.
That's one of my favorite like low key parts of the game, is that characters have specific quips that they'll say to each other.
Yeah,
I think that's sick.
I think so. One thing that I always thought about is if you were you'd have to be extremely good, but if your whole schmick was never talking on stream, like you started streaming and you never said a word. You're just like, you have to like the early days put like, I don't talk. That's the you know, whatever. But Apex would be the game that you would play the most because you could use their communication wheel
for whatever.
Because their communication wheel is one of the best ones of what you're doing, what you're tagging, thank yous, everything is in the game. So if you were a mute and you wanted to play video games, Apex is the game for you.
Apex is the game. Yeah. You know that there's a way to turn those off too. You can just completely turn off character voice.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I like it though.
Also, what came out this last week, and what we're gonna do is I have recorded a video.
Okay.
Talking about
One Piece.
One Piece, episode 1071.
Yeah.
So I have recorded that off air. And
From what I've heard from everybody, apparently 1072 is going to be better.
That's the thing.
That's the general gist of it.
So, but based off of just the premiere of this episode, I'm going to record.
Honestly, they're like part 1, part 2. That's basically what they are, from what I've heard.
So essentially, when you catch up, we'll play that back on the JT
Which
Show.
Which will be within the next like 6-7 months, I promise.
Easy.
Easy. Because I'm on 679 right now, I think.
Yeah.
And I just got to keep watching. And I've seen like little mini clips, like, because scrolling through TikTok is just a fucking mess
right now.
When you're not caught up with a very popular thing, and you don't want spoilers, it's just a fucking mess right now, especially for One Piece, because like everyone's posting shit about it.
Yes. And
I've only been able to see like certain videos, and I've seen the way Luffy looks in Gear 5, and I knew it was going to be Gear 5 and there's probably going to be a Gear 6. I don't know. There might be, it might not. Probably going to be. If I'm a betting man, and I'm betting on a Gear 6. But I've seen Luffy get pumped up with the muscles, and then because that's the first little fucking snippet every time I'm scrolling through and I see it and I go, ah, fuck, and I see him puff up. And I know it's going to be something fucking dope, and I'm just trying really hard to stay away from spoilers, and it's tough.
Have you seen the Michael Jackson reference?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I will say, well, it's just something that he does. There's a really sick animation.
Michael Jackson, so it's a moonwalk.
So there's
or a fucking hee-hee.
There's something that happens where I watched the episode, and then TikTok's going crazy. And then they broke it down, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't notice that. So I just went back and rewatched the whole episode sober, and I was like, oh my god, that was crazy.
Nice.
I missed that little tipsy. Any good anime show I do watch twice, because you have to read the first time, and then the second time you can like look at the text and kind of be like, I just saw this yesterday, and then know what's going on, and then you can watch the actual animation for the show.
Yeah. So speaking of pirates, I have a little list of fun facts about pirates.
Cool.
You might not have known. We can end it on this if you want. So do you know why pirates wear eye patches?
It's because so they have one eye to see at night and one eye to see during the day.
So it was mainly they would keep
under deck.
So when they were under deck, they would have the one eye covered.
So it
would be by candlelight. And if they got attacked, they could instantly switch it over, so they could come up on deck and they would immediately be ready to go in the dark light.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. Like, obviously they would wear them if they fucking had a lost eye or whatever, but a lot of them would wear them without the lost eye, just so they could keep that shit regulated.
Yeah.
They also had, like, a really good mail system. Like, they had people that would come out to them and meet them at certain spots and then deliver mail to people.
Wow.
Like, really good. And actually, the U.S. Postal Service uses some of their tactics today.
Wow.
Which is pretty fucking crazy. And they, kept in touch with almost everybody on land that they had networks with.
Wow.
Which is pretty fucking cool. The oldest recorded pirate that we've found is from 1353 BC. And it was during the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten. Ahkenaten. Akhenaten. Whatever. So during the Egyptian Empire, there were fucking pirates rolling around.
Yeah.
There were... This is kind of funny, but there were It says there were a decent amount of women pirates that were of note, and then they go on to name 4 of them, which I just thought was funny. But it is, for those 4 women, wildly fucking impressive.
Yeah.
For, you know, a time where women were used as objects, you know, and they were just
slaughterers.
Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was beasts. And I can only imagine that they weren't the best looking women in the world. They had to be like monsters.
Thick.
Yeah, just some thick fucking strong fucking women.
Thick.
I'm sure you knew this one, but maps were almost more valuable than gold back in the day.
Yeah.
For pirates, and they would kill over them regularly. And if one went overboard, there was one dude that was designated to jump off after it. And then they would try and come back and get him before he died.
Wow.
And if he did die, he would have it on his fucking head.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Do you know why pirates wore earrings?
No.
So there was two theories behind it. One of them is very much real, and the other one probably real. So the one that's probably real is they had a lot of seasickness, and one of the cures for it back in the day was pressure on the earlobes.
Okay.
So they would wear bigger, they'd have like the pin through it, and then they'd have the bigger ring around that, and they would pinch them. And that was supposed to cure seasickness.
Okay.
Also, they would wear the one gold earring, and that was supposed to be if they died in battle, that was their money to get sent back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they would use for
I've heard that.
Which is pretty cool. I heard that one too before. I didn't know about the seasickness one.
No, never heard that one.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Pirate captains were elected by the crewmates for a popular vote, and if they didn't live up to expectations,
Mutiny.
not mutiny, they'd do a revote.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the times it wasn't a fucking mutiny. And they also rarely made people walk the plank. Because it was a whole thing to set it up. They would just fucking toss them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like if they were going to get rid of them, they just toss them.
Nail a board on the side of the fucking ship.
So the food that they would have on pirate ships, because they'd be out for, you know, months at a fucking time because they're crazy and had no idea what the fuck they were doing really. They would bring a lot of fermented vegetables and cured meats.
Okay.
And that was like their main source of food after the first like 3 days of sailing. So for the first like 3 days of sailing, they were eating like kings, eating this great fucking beef and pork and whatever the fuck they had.
Yeah.
They would also try and keep a lot of live chickens on board for eggs, but the chickens never really made it. And then when the chickens would die, they would just cook them that same day.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. They had a lot of strict rules on board, like curfews and the amount of drinks you could have before you went to bed, which I thought was pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that pirates were like, you know, lawless individuals that would do whatever they wanted, but it makes sense that they have some type of structure on the ship. I got a couple more. Lots of pirates drank grog. You know what grog is?
All the liquor that's left in a...
So it's a mixture of rum and water. And sometimes they would add lime and sugar.
Okay.
Because their water would be so fucked up by parasites that they would have to mix it with alcohol.
Yeah, to kill the parasites?
So they would do, I don't know what the ratio was, but they would have to do a weird ratio. And they would put rum in it. And then if they were being real fancy about it and they had it, they would put lime in it to make it taste better. So that's why pirates love fucking rum. Because that's what they would mix with water. Julius Caesar was once captured by pirates.
Wow.
And they negotiated his return for a ransom. And when Julius Caesar, like they all really respected Caesar at the end of their, because he was with them for like a month when they were bringing him back.
Right.
And they really respected him at the end of it. Like he was eating at the captain's table and shit, just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And they took a bunch of fucking gold from Caesar's place. And as Caesar was leaving the ship, he turned around and was like, hey, by the way, all you guys are going to pay for this. I will get revenge on you guys. And then left the ship. And less than a month later, every single one of those pirates died.
Wow.
Yeah. And then other than that, that's pretty much it. Other than Blackbeard. You know anything about Blackbeard? A little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
So his beard, the one thing that he used to do to fuck with people is he would tie hemp. He would braid it in with his beard. and then he would light the hemp on fire. So when he would board enemy ships and be like, all right, which one of you fuckers is going to join my crew, his shit would be smoking.
Yeah.
So they thought he was a demon. And that was one of the things that was his thing. Also, he only sailed for like 3.5 years.
Wow.
Died of syphilis.
Gotta have that fucking
much
OJ.
fucking. Too much fucking.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's scurvy.
Yeah, that's scurvy.
That's scurvy.
That's scurvy.
Drink orange juice. If you got syphilis.
Yeah. You got syphilis, drink orange juice. You heard it here first.
Well, that was episode 140. Earl, thanks for stopping by.
You're the fucking man, Duke Swells.
We'll upload this to YouTube by Thursday. We'll be playing some Apex on the stream. Some
100%
Chell
tonight.
probably. And that's a wrap for the JT Show episode 140.
Appreciate you guys watching. You want a beer? Unless you're Earl, put it in the comments. I get Earl beers all the time. Peace. Oh, I gotta